Okay, my advice when it comes to the background is to complete the background with your crayons, your markers, whatever you're using, and then glue your building right on top. And whenever you are ready to glue your building right on top, you want to glue right down here on this bottom part of the tab. So that way it will look like this. The planet I'm choosing for my building to exist on is Neptune. So Neptune has some nice blues and purples to it, and I'm going to make that effect through watercolor. If you are doing watercolor just like me, you want to watch the Watercolor Basics video of mine, which explains everything about watercolor and how to clean your brush afterwards. You can also create watercolors using markers. All you need is water, a brush, your markers, and something plastic. So your watercolor palette, it has plastic. So that's what I'm gonna be doing my marker watercolor in. You can create watercolor through using markers. So if I take my marker and I draw it directly onto my plastic, I can take my brush, wet it a little bit, and then add water. And that's it. It's just like watercolor. Really cool, right? So I definitely encourage you to try this. For me, I'm just going to be using regular watercolor. Maybe I might use some markers, expand my color palette. But remember, you can also mix your colors here. If you want to lighten up your orange, you can always add some of this yellow here. Wash off your brush and then add some orange. And you can mix that up to create a lighter orange. So you can always mix up your colors too. You don't just have to depend on these colors by themselves. You can mix your colors, make them look however you want. Just be sure to wash your brush between each color. And when you're done, you want to wipe your palette just like I did, and then dab your colors. Again, if you are using watercolors or even marker watercolors, you still want to watch my watercolor basic video. That way you know how to use the watercolors and clean them afterwards. Okay, so the first thing I am going to do is I am going to use watercolor to create that like texture and make my color match Neptune a little bit better. So I'm going to use a lot of different colors just to create my planet. So again, I still clean my brush between each color. I'm just trying to provide some purple so that there's a little bit more dimension to my blue. And just remember, your watercolors, they dry lighter than how they look. The more water you add, the lighter your color will be. The more color, the darker it'll be. So I just want to see how this will dry. So I'm not really thinking too hard about it. I just want to provide some like texture, because if you look at Neptune, there's a lot of like purple dark spots to it. Okay, so now I am going to take my paper and put this somewhere safe to dry. So again, you want to watch my watercolor basics video so that you know how to clean your brush, wipe down your palette, everything else. And if you take care of your watercolors, you can use them for a long time. I really like how this has turned out. I think it's dried really nice. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the sky. So with my black paper, I'm just going to draw a nice curve, cut it out and glue it right on here. So I'm just going to line them up and then just make like a nice curve, just like that. Cut it out. And then I will just glue it right on top. So to do that, I am going to apply my glue onto this page right here. And like I said, you don't need to do this collage effect. I just think it would be really cool to create my outer space environment using multiple papers, as opposed to just drawing it. So I'm gluing this on just like that. And then I'm going to cut off the extra by just flipping this over, cutting off the extra black paper. So now I have my sky, and I am going to add some stars. Just have fun, add a bunch of different stars. I am going to glue my house onto my tab. So I just want to push out my tab. So I'm just going to apply glue to this bottom section right here. And you can apply tape, whatever you have. So now I'm just going to apply my house just like that. Rub it down and then push the tab out. And there you go, I have my 3D pop-up effect. So while my project is standing up like this with my marker holder, I am going to create like a path that leads to my house. I'm just going to color all this in black. And again, if you are using watercolor, you should watch my watercolor basics video, which will show you how to clean your water brush and how to take care of your colors. But I'm just going to pat down this black for now so that no puddles are made. And that is it.